Hello Collective, this is Tan from Artemis Oracle doing your reading today. So today is October 6th, but this reading can be from whenever you happen to come across it. We're going to get an oracle message from the Witching Hour Oracle deck. So what message does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? Angels, guides. What message does the collective need to know at this time? Oh, Cloak and Dagger. Number 7, Deception. Okay. Let me read the book for you. Okay. Cloak and Dagger. Scheming, deception, escapism, sabotage, protecting yourself. This is funny because I was thinking about the number 7. I've been seeing 707. It's interesting. And then I've been listening to readings too, and they've been mentioning the number 7. The number 7. So that may be significant to you in some way. Maybe you were born on the 7th, July 7th, on a Sunday, if that's considered a 7th day. 111 is as it was saying that. So the message says, beware of the company you keep, for someone or something with a charming exterior means you harm. Receiving this card is your warning to double check everything before agreeing to everything. Someone may be attempting to deceive you and is playing a duplicitous game. Even someone with the best of intentions can hurt you if they use manipulation and lies to convince you to do what they think is best. Take extra precautions in the coming days and weeks and protect yourself and your energy as much as you can. Keep an eye out for signs your energy is being drained by others. If you experience fatigue, agitation, nervousness, or a low mood that cannot be explained, you may be a victim of someone else's energetic schemes. If this card happens to fall out of the deck and lands in the reverse position, it can mean you may be the source of toxic energy and something you've done or said has caused harm to another. So thankfully, the card didn't come out in the reverse. But it says companion cards are To the Grave, Broken Branch, The Witch Hunter, Forgotten Ghost, Prying Eyes, and Solitary Witch. But we're going to go into tarot, and what they say is the tarot companion card for this specific card. We could all guess 7 of Swords, 222. So let's find out what tarot has to say. Spirit, angels, guides, please let us know. What does the collective need to know about this deceptive energy that may be around them? Please let us know about this deceptive energy that may be around the collective. What is this deceptive energy that may be around the collective? It's interesting because 7, Libra, we're currently in Libra season, right? Tomorrow is going to be October 7th, right? We're currently in Libra season, and Libra is the 7th sign of the zodiac. Okay. All right. Tell us about this. All right, we got 3 cards. We have the 4 of Pentacles, which has to do with holding back, reserving yourself, reserving your energy, reserving your time, conserving your energy, conserving your time, conserving your finances. 333 was on the clock. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which has to do with happiness and harmony, has to do with the home. And then the Ace of Wands. So, okay. Ace of Wands. It's the spark of something. Inspiration, but it could also be, I don't know, for some reason what popped up in my mind is that there may be somebody that may be coming into your relationship that may be a temptation. That's what popped in my mind. A temptation. That may be a temptation. Maybe some of you have been recovering. We have the 4 of Swords. I feel like what this card is saying is don't sleep on anyone. That's anybody who you may have who may come off as charming, who may come off as very amicable or friendly or amiable. That's what I wanted to say, but amicable came out, so that might mean something to you guys. Yeah, I feel like some of you, whoever this deceptive energy is, do not sleep on them. Do not sleep on this message. Please take heed. Hold back from anything. If you're someone who's happily married, who is in a happy relationship, has a happy home, don't allow yourself or be on the lookout for anyone who may be trying to tempt you in some way, because this Ace of Wands and then the 4 is like holding back, reserving security, stability, right? But this Ace of Wands with the cloak and dagger is just giving me somebody who's trying to start off something, try to disrupt something in a way. I mean, it doesn't look like that way in the card, but it's just like what popped up in my mind, considering we have the cloak and dagger card, right? So I want to clarify the 4. What is this 4 of Pentacles? The Fool. Okay. The Fool. Yeah, hold off on taking any sort of action, on taking some sort of risk. You know what I find very interesting is this 4 of Pentacles card has flames. It has smoke. So I feel like if there is something coming in, if there's some opportunity that may be coming in, and the Ace of Wands could be an opportunity. It could be an opportunity, you know, to step out of your relationship, or an opportunity for your partner to step out of the relationship. And I hate saying stuff like this, but I cannot deny it. I feel like some of you are going to have to hold back from taking some sort of risk or starting off something new. Make sure to get all the information you need before you take any actions, before you step out of the 4 of Pentacles, which is this place of security or stability, you know, because what the next card is the 5 of Pentacles, and that's where you're going to be feeling a sense of lack, a sense of loss. Tell me about the Ace of Wands. So we have 2 of Cups here. If you're not in a relationship, there may be somebody that maybe say you're in this harmonious place where you're balanced, you're secure, you feel secure, you're happy with where you are. You have everything you need, you have everything you want, and there's really no reason for you to take any unnecessary risks, because you may be losing out on something, right? And the Fool is someone who takes risks. They don't really think about the consequences of their actions. But if you're solo, like you are good on your own, you're happy, you're whole, complete, right? There may be somebody coming in with a deceptive energy that may be coming in like, they may be wanting more, getting their wand stroked than they want to pull on your heartstrings. And they may be pulling on your heartstrings so that they could gets you to stroking. But I feel like, look at this, we've got the 4 wands, which has to do with stability, happy home, celebration, some level of success. Okay, tell me more about this Ace of Wands. Somebody may be pretending to be a certain way just so they could get something out of a situation, something out of you. We got the Queen of Swords. And I feel like whenever this opportunity comes, you're going to have to be discerning. You cannot be the fool. You cannot be foolish. You're going to have to look at the signs, look at this person's behaviors. There's always going to be clues. There's always going to be flags, red flags that are going to be waving whenever you're dealing with this person. You know, things aren't going to add up. They're going to say things that contradict what they've said in the past, you know. So it's going to be a level of you're going to have to use discernment when it comes to this specific situation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a home situation or a love situation. It could even be with a partnership, you know. Maybe somebody's offering you something that seems like it's a wish fulfillment, it's happiness that will bring you some level of emotional satisfaction, emotional fulfillment. But they may not be completely honest with what that offer is. They may be holding back certain things and hoping that you play the fool and not ask questions and do research and, you know, use discernment. That's what I'm getting. And the Knight of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So this person may come off, like it says, someone who comes off as charming, someone who may come off as romantic. So with that said, it's like that's something that you need to look out for, you know. Whatever offer this person's making, it's probably looking good to you. And because you're considering it. If you look at the Ace of Wands, then we have the Queen of Wands with the Five of Swords. So this person may be a fire sign energy, or you may be a fire sign energy. But we have a Queen of Wands here. We have the Queen of Swords, which is air sign energy. So we have two queens here. One is a fire sign, one is an air sign. There's going to be some conflict. So this conflict may not even have to do with a love situation. It could be a conflict with the person of the same sex. And it could be a man, woman. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be like a hetero, a sexual or anything. But it could just be like two women may be vying for something. Maybe one of these women I feel like if we go back to a relationship, I feel like somebody, because I'm looking at the cloak and the dagger card, and it shows a masculine with a knife. And he's hugging somebody. So there may be a deceptive masculine energy who may be already in a relationship and who may be, however you resonate. You could be the Queen of Swords or you could be the Queen of Wands. That they may be coming towards you trying to get something. They may have already promised you the world in some way. And what they really want to do is get off, you know? They want you to be all mesmerized by their wand, you know? But this person may already be in a partnership with somebody. And since the Queen of Swords came out, I'm going to take a guess and say that this person's most likely in a relationship with an air sign. And that if you're resonating with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords is someone who is very intellectual, logical, who is she's very honest, truthful, and she could be a bit cutting, right? But the Queen of Wands is someone who is, you know, creative, and she's also smart, but she uses her brains for more creative pursuits. She's not as logical, but she is more creative and more magnetic and attractive and possibly a bit witchy, I would say. Possibly someone who attracts a lot of attention, you know? We have the Chariot, 7 again, with the Chariot. Okay. I want to break down the Two of Cups. Tell me about this Two of Cups. Wow. One more for Two of Cups. We get the cards. Okay. The first card we have is Page of Swords. Someone is watching, waiting, taking some sort of observation. So that's another indication that it's an air sign. Young air sign, King of Cups. So this is Scorpio. And then the 10 of Pentacles. What's at the bottom? King of Wands. Wow. Okay, so this is definitely giving third-party situations. So like I said, it could be male, female, because we have the King of Cups and the King of Wands showing up. So someone definitely is already in a relationship. They get the holding back. The King of Wands with the Hermit and the Page of Pentacles. So the King of Wands is going hermit to reflect and to introspect, maybe healing. All right, so let's say this. This is another story. And I hate when I had to do this, like veer off it. I should have, you know what? I should have clarified the 10. The 10 of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna put the cards back. I want to know the Ten of Cups. What I just got was somebody can be lying about their home life. Yeah, they could be lying about their home life. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Hierophant, Six of Swords. Hierophant with the Six of Swords. Hierophant indicates like marriage or commitment. With the Six of Swords, that's indicating, yeah, see, I mentioned third party. Oh, fuck, this is so bad. Okay, look at this. We have the Hierophant here, right? With the Six of Swords. So I feel like somebody may have walked away from a relationship, moved away from a relationship. Maybe there was some trouble in paradise, or maybe the person's using that as an excuse. So some people say, well, I'm married, but I'm getting divorced. Or I'm married and, you know, my wife is a mean lady, or my husband's so mean, you know, and abusive and whatever. So it's like this person's going towards the Three of Pentacles, which has to do with teamwork, collaboration. But then you see the Eight of Pentacles too. So this has to do with work. See, I mentioned Queen of Swords. We have Libra here with Justice. So the air sign came out. Okay, so somebody could have been in a relationship, right? Where they have walked away from it. They have ended it because there has been some sort of trouble. There has been conflict. And this person may be focusing on their work, maybe focusing on, you know, building up their stability, right? And this could be where the holdback energy is. But the thing is the deception card. What is the deception? What is the deception? I want to know what the Six of Swords is. Oh, I had a card here. Magician. Okay. Remember the card mentioned manipulation? I just noticed that card was there. So I'm going to put it back. I don't know when it fell there, but I want to further clarify Cloak and Dagger. Okay, who is this deceptive person? The fucking Magician came out again. This is someone who's manipulative. Someone who's manipulative. Wow. Got the High Priestess, which is the second major arcana, with the Magician being the first. The High Priestess is someone who's intuitive, who knows secrets, who can gain knowledge, secret knowledge, who can hold secrets, keep things to themselves. So this person may be keeping certain things to themselves, right? But we have the Five of Pentacles showing out. So it could be that, okay, it could be like, it could be third party. It could be, the third party could be work, okay? But, Someone may be feeling a sense of lack. Right, the Five of Pentacles came out. The Queen of Cups with the Five of Swords. You know what came to my mind? Someone may be trying to manipulate a high priestess. What if the high, okay, this is, because the high priestess is Cancer and Pisces, right? But then Queen of Cups is Cancer, right? I wonder if this person was talking about their woes, like, woe is me. And then they were telling the story to a Queen of Cups. Someone who is very compassionate and caring, empathetic. But then may have tried to cause her to come off her throne in some way with the manipulation. You know, try to cause some sort of conflict, internal mental conflict. Because when you look at the Five of Swords, you see there's an eye there and the eye is crying, you know? Tower. I feel like this is all going to be revealed. The Hierophant came out again. Number 7 is supposed to be a spiritual number. It's about going in, introspecting. So you think of the 7 of Swords, it's about the self. It could be taking back your power. Then the 7 of Pentacles is about looking at the results, seeing the fruits of your labor. But it's something that you do on your own. It's not like you look for other people to validate your growth or your success in any way with the 7 of Pentacles. But the 7 is like in solitude. You're alone. 7 of Wands is about protection. It's about boundaries. Keeping up your boundaries. And then the 7 of Cups is about not allowing yourself to fall into illusions and trying to look at things clearly. You know, trusting in yourself that you make the best decision for yourself. Didn't I just mention the 7 of Swords? And the 7 of Swords is the companion card for this. Another card flipped over. This, the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is a reading about someone no longer falling for anyone's manipulation. And someone taking back their power. Taking back their energy. Taking back their resources. Which is what we started off with. Because we did see the 5 of Pentacles. I mean, the 4 of Pentacles. That was the first card that came out. I feel like what this is saying is that if some of you have been trying to manifest anything, it's important for you to use your own discernment. Don't fall for any deceptive words, sweet words, someone's tales of woe, of deception. You know, sure, you could be, if you are someone who resonates with being a compassionate person, an empress even, where you both look compassionate, intelligent, a magnetic, creative person, right? So we saw 3 queens, but we didn't see the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, let's see the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who has abundance. So in some way, there may be some deceptive energy that may be interfering with your finances, interfering with your abundance. So you may be, it could be a work situation. Say they have to choose between 2 people, right? Because we did see the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And someone may be manipulating a situation so that it works out in their favor, but it kind of does somebody else wrong, where it impacts them financially or impacts their abundance and financial stability, which is the 4 of Pentacles, your financial stability, being at that place where you don't want to take any risks. But you also don't want to be stagnant either. So you don't want to be self-sabotaging, right? And another way too, this self-deception, because this card wasn't in the reverse, but if it was, the book mentions that self-deception. If you're deceiving yourself, you could be getting in the way of your own manifestations. You know, with self-sabotage, with you holding back your energy, having a lack mindset, not wanting to move forward because you're afraid you're going to lose it all. Not wanting, you know, not knowing what's on the other side of the Six of Swords, you know, not taking that step. Because we did see the Six of Swords earlier with the Hierophant, which has to do with commitment, but it could be a commitment to yourself, commitment to spirit, commitment to your spirituality, commitment to having faith that things will work out in your favor. You know, I feel like it could be a number of things that I mentioned throughout this reading, but most importantly is just beware of any deception, whether it's coming from external influences or from within. You know, because you will know, your intuition will let you know exactly how to move forward, especially if you feel like someone is being deceptive, that what they're saying isn't adding up. Like you feel like they're paying you lip service, or if you're doing that to yourself. It's interesting here because if you look at the Seven of Swords, you see the two swords there in the background. This is about, you know, being at a place where you have to come to some sort of decision, you know. But then it's like you already made a decision because she's already moving. She has 4 of the swords in her backpack. 4. The four swords represents healing, resting, recovery, meditation, prayer. But then she also has that one dagger, one sword in her hand, which is the Ace of Swords, which is the truth. So I feel like it's really important for you to follow your intuition with whatever situation you're in, whether it is a third party, whether it's somebody coming in trying to sweet talk your panties off, or if it's some sort of self-deception that's going on. You know, take the time to reflect and decide on what's your best option, what's your best decision, what your options are and what you should do moving forward. But make sure you're doing it from a clear headspace, where you're not being influenced by external influences, external sources, but then allow yourself to see things clearly, see things for the truth with that Ace of Swords, the clarity, the truth, you know. And the High Priestess, she's always by herself. You never see her with 3 of Cupsing or like 5 of Swordsing or whatever, you know, or like 4 of Wandsing, you know. She's not with people, she's by herself. She's taking time to reconnect with herself, to reconnect or to connect to source, you know, to her higher self. So I feel like this is what the message is. So for whatever decision, that's the advice, that trust yourself, take time to weigh your options, allow yourself the grace, the period of silence, of solitude, to, you know, remove any confusion or a confusion that may be looming, because you see there's clouds here too, right? Don't allow your fears to disillusion you in any way, you know. Follow your heart. Don't follow your loins. You know, and don't follow what anyone else is telling you. So I'm going to leave the message there. I hope it was helpful in some way. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.